Welcome to the Roboticist Chronicles, an ARC Specialties podcast, where we get into the nuts and bolts of robots, automation, and the implications of an evolving machine workforce.
Hello, I'm Dan Alford with ARC Specialties, and you're listening to the Roboticist Chronicles. Got a special guest today, a fellow roboticist from ARC Specialties. Welcome to the show, Esteban.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's back up. How did we meet?
Well, I came to Welder here one day, and you were walking with a crowd of people, and for some reason we kind of locked eyes, and you gave me that look like he can be a good potential candidate for this company.
And you passed the test.
And I passed the test.
What was the test? Was it like, it was flux core, right?
Yes, sir. Vertical.
Vertical up?
1-inch plate.
With flux core wire?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever welded flux core before?
Yes, sir.
So where did you learn to weld?
Well, my dad is a welder. My older brother is a welder.
Runs in the family?
It runs in the family.
My dad was a welder, by the way.
He's a stick welder. He don't really like welding wire. So he's always been like what you call a rig welder.
Oh, out in the field
Mm-hmm.
with a motor generator.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln SA200?
Mm-hmm. No.
No? Miller?
We have one of those, but he runs a Vantage now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, digital. So he's kind of upping up the scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so what do you do for ARC Specialties? So you're doing structural welding.
I'm a structural welder, a fabricator, and now I'm trying to learn a little bit of everything. So I'm running the plasma and the bending material, and I want to learn how to program the robots.
Yeah, we got the robot there. Yes.
Yeah.
So you used to tell me that robots fear you. What did you mean by that?
Well, I feel like technology is getting pretty ahead, but at the same time, a robot cannot weld like a human. Let's say you have a lot of position welds. A robot cannot go into the field and do a position weld. Human has to do that, And I feel like a robot has to weld a lot of the same things, and that's.
No, you're precisely right. If all welders understood what you just said, then my life would be easier. We're not taking the jobs. We're just doing the simple stuff.
Mm-hmm. For now.
With the boring oh, yeah, no, I'm trying to do more and more.
Yeah.
And you're helping, so.
Yeah. Because, I feel like also it's taking jobs away from people because some people feel like, oh, I'm a welder, I'm a fabricator. I don't want to learn how to program a robot, but that's where they fail. You got to learn how to do everything if you want to keep on going up.
Oh, yeah, if you want to move up in the company.
It's like they say you can't teach an old monkey a new flip.
And so you're already programming the 2-axis
Yes,
plasma cutting.
Yes, sir.
And that's a 5-axis press brake you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
And the next step is the 6-axis robot.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you. I bought a laser. So next week you're going to start welding with light.
Yeah. Dave was telling me about that.
Yeah. So
I'm
we got
a little bit excited about that.
Yeah, 2 kilowatt laser with a wire feeder. And so have you ever gas welded with a torch?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I've gas welded with a flame. I've arc welded and laser welded. And the only other one for you would be electron beam and ultrasonics. So we'll try to get you into all of that before it's over.
I just want to be good at everything.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that attitude.
I hate going into something and feeling like I'm gonna fail because I don't like failing. I like to be the best. Every time I do something, I want to be the best.
That's why we always push you a little bit further than you've been. We don't want you to fail. We just want you to grow.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it gets overwhelming because you mess up sometimes, and I don't like messing up.
I don't remember you scrapping anything.
Not yet.
So you're the guy that builds all the frames and the skids and the tools that go into our robot cells.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. All right. So the backstory on you. Where were you born?
I was born in Mexico, Monterrey.
Monterrey. Oh,
Yes,
okay. Yeah, we got robots in Monterrey.
Yeah, for Caterpillar, you
Yeah,
said,
Caterpillar.
right? My dad used to work there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Small world. All right. So when and how did you immigrate to the U.S.?
When I was 6 years old, and we came over. It was just in a span of a week. My dad over there, he's handicapped. He had back surgery. He had an accident at work. And in Mexico, it's different than here. When you're handicapped over there or you're old, they don't really want you to have a job. They'd rather get a young person to do it. So he felt like there was no future for us over there. So it happened in a week. We just didn't tell none of our family members, nothing. We just got the paperwork done. They were working on it, got the paperwork done. It's real hard to get a visa to come over here in Mexico. And once we got that, we came over here. And we've been here ever since.
So how old are you now?
28.
28. So And you're 6 at the time.
Yeah. I had my last birthday over there, kissed everybody goodbye, and I haven't seen them since.
You haven't been back?
Nope.
Really? I was in Mexico last week.
I know. It's pretty fun, right?
You need to go back. All right. And so you were part of the Dreamer program, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about Dreamers. All I know is the word.
The Dreamer is basically like opportunity for us to not get deported. You know, when I was in high school, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. When I was in high school, I had a lot of my friends that were going to college, getting help to go to college and stuff like that. But as a person that's undocumented, you can't get no help of that. So I started working at a church's chicken place. And I was
chicken.
Yeah, I was 17, 18 years old, and I was like, man, this cannot be my life. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And by the time I graduated, like 4 months after that, we got the opportunity to have a social security number and a work permit. And that's the reason why I'm able to work. I was going to college for a little bit, but it kind of got difficult for my parents because at that time my parents were not documented. So I had to put in some extra work so I can help them out with stuff around the house, you know. And now that I have the work permit, I started practicing every lunch break that I could until I became a welder. It took me like 8 months. But the company that I was working for didn't want to let me be a welder, so I had to start jumping around companies so I can, you know, make a decent pay.
How long have you been at ARC now?
A year and 8 months. A year and 6 months.
6 months, okay.
Yeah.
Seems to be working out.
Yeah. I like it here. It's nice.
Oh, good. We like you. So, Dreamers program. So that was an Obama program or something? Tell me more about what else do you know about it?
It's been so long. Honestly, I believe it was an Obama program, but once I got the work permit and I knew I can work, all I've been doing was working.
You've been paying taxes ever since?
Ever since. I have to pay taxes. If I don't pay taxes, I can't renew the work permit. I have to show proof every time that I renew my work permit.
So how often do you have to do that?
Every 2 years you have to renew, and you have to pay immigration a fee, and I have to pay a lawyer a fee so he can put in all my paperwork.
Wow. How much?
Immigration is like almost $900, and the lawyer is $500.
Wow.
Every 2 years. And I had an incident one time. They sent me my work permit. They sent it to me for 3 years.
That's good.
And that's not good because immigration sent me a letter saying if you don't return it, we're going to cancel you out. So I had to return it right there and then. At that time, I was working at a place, and I had to return it, and I had to let them know. They let me go. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Until I got my work permit back for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not easy.
And we're sticklers here. Everybody's got to have a permit. I don't know if you heard this story. We had the guys come in from the government, and they're checking everybody, make sure everybody's legal. And Tony, our machinist, they came in and said, "Yeah, you got any illegal here?" I said, "Who?" They said, "Tony." So I go ask Tony. I said, "Tony, you illegal?" He goes, "No." He went home, came back with a letter from George Bush welcoming him to the United States as a resident. So no, that's just the way we do it. We play by the rules. So. What are you trying to do now? Are you going to try to become a permanent resident, or are you going to be a dreamer forever? I don't get it. What's the plan?
There's no path to residency or citizenship as a dreamer yet.
There's none.
There's none.
So it's every 2 years.
Every 2 years, and if they decide to take it off, like Texas was trying to do that, then I'm screwed. But luckily, my parents became residents now, and they're on the path to becoming citizens.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So if maybe my parents become citizens, maybe they can petition me. And since I already have a work permit and a social security, it's like I'm already in the system. So the process might be a little easier for me to get my residency, so I can go back and see all my family, that they're slowly dying and I can't be there.
So if you go across the border, you can't come back?
I can't come back.
Wow.
You can go through your lawyer and ask for permission, but you're gonna have to pay up, and you run the risk of them not letting you back in the States.
Wow, that's rough.
It has to be like a real emergency or death or something like that.
This sounds like a lot of work. Is it worth it? Are you glad you came?
It's worth it. It's worth it. I was able to help my parents out when they really needed it, and although I didn't finish college, I was still able to make a career out of the stuff that I do, because being a welder or fabricator is not bad. You can make an honest living doing that. Mm-hmm. And there's always more room to grow in the industry. So that's why I'm thankful that I came here, because you can learn about robots. All I seen was robots weld, but I never thought of like me trying to program a robot.
Why not?
You know, you get caught up busy trying to prove a point as a young welder that you can hang with the big dogs, and you don't have time to be thinking about stuff like that. You just want to prove your point that you can hang with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always tough. I mean, I hate to say it, but working with Mexicans it's not easy. You know, because they're more hungry than you, and you got to show them that, hey, you got to step your game up. So that's what helped me a lot to learn, being around them.
Competition improves the breed.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You got to be on top of your game if you want to compete with the best.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I go to a place, I always trying to be the best. Even though you can't be perfect, you can at least be 1% better every day.
Well, we got quite a variety here at ARC. You know, anybody that's ever visited has seen all the flags we have up.
Yeah.
We have like 20 flags from 20 countries celebrating the birthplace of all our folks, from Russians, Salvadorians, Honduras, all over the place.
Yeah. And everybody gets along.
We got a Mexican flag, I believe.
Yes, everybody gets along. That's why I like it here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no jealousy.
Okay, so let's say somebody is considering immigrating to the United States and they hear your podcast. Give them some advice. Yes, no, maybe. How do you do it? What do you do?
Be ready to work a lot. You know, coming from bad place like Mexico, they're not used to working like how we work in the USA. It's a lot of work.
Harder?
We work hard.
Wow.
Yeah, but at the same time, the money they make over there, coming to work over here, even if you're working a $7.25 job, you're still making more than what you were making over there. And it's the best advice I can give somebody is just, you got to plan, you got to focus, and have determination, and then you execute. Takes time, but trust the process. You got to trust the process. Sometimes you feel like, man, I'm going nowhere. But you just got to keep on going. No cutting corners because they catch up.
Yeah, well, life's not easy.
No, it's not.
You know, that's how I got through school, was welding fork trucks. So I was doing the same thing you're doing, welding the mast and the frames and everything else. So I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, here's the big question. If you were running the country, how would you change the immigration laws, or are they perfect?
They're not perfect. The only thing I would do different would be give everybody a chance. You know, I hear a lot of people say that Hispanics come and take people's jobs and they don't pay taxes, and they're saying everything they make over here, they send it back to Mexico, boosting that economy. But in reality, I know undocumented people that pay taxes. They actually pay, you know. So the only thing I would change is let them be able to provide without having a sense of being scared of getting deported back, you know, because all they want to do is give their kids a better life. At least my parents were, you know. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to go to school here. I didn't know any English, you know. The first day of school,
that's got to be rough.
I ran outside of school. They were chasing me because I didn't want to be there. I didn't know no English.
So yeah, you came over at 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, your first day of school in the whole world was
I was
the
like,
US
what? So I was not ready. So I mean, I wouldn't really change much because at the same time, there's people that come here to make an honest living, and there's people that, you know, really do bad things as well. And for those people that do those bad things, the good people take the blame as well. So there's something that I don't respect.
Yeah, well, there's good people everywhere, bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
Down in Baja, they say bad roads, good people, good roads, bad people.
Yep, that's how it is over here. And I mean, it's like, all we're trying to do is work, provide, and, like I said, give the kids a better life. Because they know, as an adult, well, when I was a kid, as an adult, they know it's not easy here. So you're just trying to open up a path for them so they know where to go. It's not, I don't know how it was for you, but like sometimes I wouldn't even see my parents because they were working 2 jobs. So I had to learn a lot of things on my own. Thankfully, I had an older brother that punched me in the side of the head. And, man, you got to do this right, or do it like this. So
Tell me about Juan. You guys are buds, right? Y'all.
When I first got here, to when I started school, since we didn't know no English, they had to take us to another school where they had ESL, which is, like a teacher that speaks English and Spanish.
Right.
And then I met Juan.
So this is way back when you were 6 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they had to send us to another school, and we had the same classroom. And at the time, my parents had an apartment, and we were living in an apartment. And then we moved to a trailer park, and come to find out, he lived in the same trailer park. So we always rode the bus together. I've been knowing him for a long time.
Who came first? I don't remember.
He did. He got me this job.
Oh, okay. So he came first. He brought you in.
Yeah. I was going through a rough patch when he called me. It was bad.
What was up? You don't want to talk about it?
I mean, I don't mind. It was just like, here, whenever you're trying so hard to become something and it fails, you can hit depression. And depression is real. I didn't ever, Mexican parents are like, "Are you depressed? Come on, man, step it up," or something. They don't believe in that, but everything's happening so fast here that you can just drown yourself. And I was going through that time. I felt like I was not worth it. I felt like I started welding at 18, and I felt like, man, why am I doing this? Is this even worth it? Should I change it up, or what should I do? And he called me up. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to go give it a try. Because I feel like I've worked at a lot of companies, and I always try to give the best that I got. And sometimes some companies, they really don't value that. They don't pay attention to stuff like that. But here, they give
I know what a good weld is and what a bad weld is.
Yeah, they give you they keep an eye out for people like that here. Mm-hmm. That's why I like it. And there's, in other places, when they see a person like, oh, he's trying too much, or he's working too fast, or like they try to shut it down. They try to shut it down, They try to bring it down. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore, because everywhere I go is the same. People bring you down.
Yeah, the other day you told me something I didn't like. You said you're going to have to leave to move up.
Well.
And then now we've got you doing field service.
Yeah.
2-axis CNC cutting, 5-axis press brake, and now laser. You still think you got to leave to move up?
Well, I'm not trying to brag or nothing like that. I'm a humble man, but last week when I was coming back from Huntsville, I got a call from somebody that was hiring, and they were paying, above 30, and
wow.
I'm not saying
that's a raise.
Yeah, but like I said, I worked in so many companies, made a certain amount of money that it's not about the money, It's about where you feel comfortable and how you manage your money. It's
you have to figure out what would be best for you 10 years from now.
Owning my own company.
Go for it. I did it.
My brother, he got a side job. Well, not a side job. He has a company name, but we really don't push it like that. So we have a job this weekend for Coca-Cola, doing a rail. It's like they move pallets, and they use the rail to put the pallet in there, and they roll it out, not like a conveyor. So we're gonna do that, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to push that, so maybe we can get ourselves jobs, learning how to bid jobs, and learning how to get jobs. That's the important thing.
So that's what I tell people. My job here is to keep you guys happy. Mm-hmm. And so what I recognize in you, to keep you happy is new challenges. And that's why you're learning the new machines, you're doing field service, and now you got to learn lasers. So
that's what I like. I like to keep challenging myself, pushing my limits, because once you start getting comfortable, you start
get lazy.
You get lazy. And I always like to be moving, doing something. I don't like to just be doing one thing.
What's your dad think of what all you're doing?
As a Mexican dad, he's always like, you can do better. Yeah, so he's like, I know he's proud, but he's not going to say it straightforward. But I know he's proud. He raised us good, Mm-hmm. And he knows we do our best. Just like him, my pops is real good at what he does. Over 30 years experience. He was in Mexico. He was a welder. He was a pipeliner in Mexico. It's just
that's the top level welder in the world is the pipeline guy.
Yeah, my brother, being up and down Texas, New Mexico, he's been everywhere as well, welding with his truck. And I had the opportunity to do that, but I seen like they don't really have a life.
Nope.
he just got his RV going places to places and alone. You know, it's tough working like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what opened more doors for him. You know, he learned how to do a lot of field work, and now he works at a plant. So he learned a lot of stuff around Texas that has helped him out where he's at now. You know, so that's pretty good for him.
Yep. You got to figure out what's best for you, and I got to keep trying to keep you challenged.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could rewind and go talk to your 6-year-old self in Spanish, what would you tell yourself? What did you need to know?
Ponte las pilas, cabrón.
Uh-oh. Got to translate that. I know the last word.
Put the batteries on. No, I would tell myself, like, in America, everything is at an arm's reach, you know, and if you can get lost by following the wrong crowd.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I would just tell myself not to be so hard on yourself. You know, you're going to mess up. Just get up and keep moving. You know, it gets hard, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah. No, that's the beauty of America. You get what you work for.
Exactly.
I always said what I'd go tell my younger self was, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, like I told you, before I started working here, I was going through a rough patch, and this company has helped me out. You know, I'm always here laughing, trying to get everybody to smile, and it makes me happy doing that.
Oh, you just turned down a raise.
Yeah, a couple of them, but it's like I said, it's not I'm not bragging or nothing. It's just that I already have been doing all that. That I know if I go to a place, you're gonna bust your butt, and they're not gonna recognize you. You know, here they recognize who I am, and they give me the opportunity to grow, and that's what's gonna put me ahead. Anybody can work, anybody can learn how to weld and fabricate, and they can do it. But you know, at what cost? All you work so hard, and all you have is just a lot of hours that you work, and you got messed up back, or you know, I don't want that. I don't want to be old and have messed up back. You know.
You hadn't heard this story, but way back when I got out of school, I had 2 job offers. I was top of the class. I could get anything I wanted. So I had 2 job offers. One of them was at the nuclear plants. They're building Comanche Peak near Dallas, and they're building the nuke plant in Bay City. And so they're hiring welding technicians like myself. And then I had another offer right here in Houston, Texas at Hughes Tool for half as much money. I took the job for half as much money, learned 10 times as much, and I got no regrets.
That's what I'm saying.
Your mileage may vary.
It's not always about the money. It's just about how much can you learn at a place. If I go to that place where they call me, I know I'm just going to be welding and welding and welding and welding and just not learning nothing. I already know how to weld. I want to learn something, give myself challenge, you know, like that, the robots.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Huh? Okay, well, it's good having you on the team. And, okay, now I know my job is to keep you challenged so you don't go get a raise.
Nah, I won't leave here that soon.
What did we miss? What else do you want to talk to? What points did you want to make? Here's your chance.
Well, stop being so hard on immigrants. You know, they're not here to bother nobody.
Talking to me or talking to who?
To everybody. Everybody who listens. You know, we're just here to make an honest living. And, you know, the news portray us as bad people, but we're really not. We're just trying to get ahead like everybody else. If you can do it, then I can do it too. You know, what's the difference? We're all human beings, you know.
It's a land of opportunity, and it seems to be working out for both you and me.
And Juan.
And Juan.
For everybody, because he's in the same boat. Just got to keep on going.
That's all you can do. Well, thanks for coming on the show today.
I appreciate you for having me.
Let's get you back on later on whenever your status changes, because it sounds like right now you got a tough gig with this Dreamer having to resubmit every 2 years. So come back and tell us how it's working out for you.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.